Hello and welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today I'm going to show how to make this tiny little book. I did a short on it and thought I would follow that up with a full video. But this is a tiny junk journal, and in the short, and you can kind of see it on my channel, I do just a more of a flip through, but it actually is a tiny little junk journal, and it is a journal that that functions. So it's fully functional. And anyway, I just think things are so much cuter in the miniature, and so we're gonna make one of these. And it's actually faster and easier than what you might think, because things when they're made mini just seem to go a lot quicker for me. And if you're just experiencing some sort of like a creative roadblock or something like that, this would be a good thing to kind of pursue. And that's what I did. So I just didn't have it in me to make a big one. So I decided I'll do something mini. So this one, this journal, I actually made out of, here, I'm gonna show you this. It's Amazon packaging, and it came, I think it was a book that someone in my family ordered, and it's the edge of the envelope that it came in. It was super sturdy, but also it's kind of weird. This part was like this. I think that was like the front of it, but the edges were kind of glued together. So I'm not using that. I just wanted to know how that kind of went together. So this is this piece. And what I did was I literally just thought about like what size journal I would want. And then I kind of wrapped it around, and then I cut it. So if I was going to do this, I have a little bit of a spine here so that I can put pages in and it doesn't just stay open. I wanted it to be able to close and not just, sometimes they're just gaping wide, and they look weird to me. So I didn't want that. But this is literally what I did to make the journal cover. This one's just a little bit taller, so I could just trim a little bit off just with a pair of scissors, or leave it as a longer, like a taller journal. But anyway, this one's fine. Another thing I thought of was I just finished up with kitchen towels, so kitchen paper towel roll. But this one is actually thinner, a lot thinner than the other one, because you saw how it's doubled up packaging. Like there, you can see the doubled up piece, making it very thick. So this one is not as thick, and so this is literally the kitchen paper towel. So I flattened it out, and then I went like this to make a spine, and then I put the two edges together so that they would kind of meet. I mean, it's not the best job cutting, but that meant I took off about this much. And what I want to do is just glue that in the center so that you have a thicker spine. And then the other thing I would need to do on this, because I can already tell that it's kind of falling apart. When I folded it, it looks like after opening and closing it just a few times, that it might actually fall apart on the edges, which if they're not reinforced, that's bound to happen. So what I would do then, why is this not gluing? Then what I would do is actually put some fabric on these. I don't know why that is not gluing on there. And that's my good glue. All right, let's try bad glue. Not bad, but you know, just cheapy glue. This just takes a little bit longer to dry, but does a decent job of holding. There we go. And down you go again. So what I would do is actually get some fabric and, you know, just reinforce the edges there like this, or even get a larger fabric piece and, you know, just reinforce the edge like that. And this might be cute for like a Valentine's journal. So I may do that in a little bit. I am not gonna do this now because this is not glued down. So what I'm talking about is this edge here. So you would just want to make sure you had like a piece of lace or something if you are using the kitchen paper towels, but we're not using those today. We're using a double deal of cardstock. So I'm going to just zoom in. So my scientific way of doing this was, at first I thought, well, I'm going to just use one piece of paper and there's something on here. And really that's all I did. So I just, and that's kind of how I got my size also. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a few signatures in there, but because it's so tiny, I didn't need to. So I ended up not doing signatures, but just one big signature with lots of pages. So there's, I didn't even count how many pages I have. Oopsies. I just glued that on, so it's coming off. But I do like the torn paper look, so kind of want my pages to have that, I think it's called a deckled edge. All right, let me just glue stick that down. All right, so there's some pages and this one is just short of it. So you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. Then I don't have to trim anything. Let's see if it'll fit this way. I think it shall. That and that, no. All right, I'm gonna have to do it this way and then just trim it all. That's fine. Will that all fit in there? Oh, right, okay. So one of the other things I did was made it a little bit shorter. So I did my pages like this. No, hang on. Okay, so if you just tear this in half, that's great actually. That will work. So you can do it that way. If you're making something just a little bit skinnier, so almost like a bullet journal, and that's what this is. So this is almost like a little bullet journal. What I did was I folded these pages. Okay, I'm gonna just do it instead of just talking about it. So I did it like this, where this would become one signature. And then I took these and folded them in half. And this one's giving me some problems because this is a thicker piece of scrapbook paper. So I like that look. I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna continue on. And as I mentioned before, I was gonna do several different signatures, but instead I ended up just doing one so that it would just fit really well in there. Okay, so I have that much sticking out, and what I'm going to do is actually pull it down a little so that I know like how much to cut. And yeah, I know I could use my cutter, but why do it the easy way? Let's do it the hard way. There we go. This is coming off also. I did a terrible job gluing. I wonder if my glue's like dry or something's going on with it. Let's use that. Let's see if it's working. Okay, so from one sheet of paper, I'm getting a pretty thick journal size. And yes, I know that all the papers in there are not exactly like the same size. I don't really worry about that too much because I don't mind a variation. I think it adds to that kind of rustic look. But check that out. that fits perfectly. Isn't that great? And if you were just to leave it the way it is, I think it would look beautiful. And you don't even have to add the little junk journal components in it. But why stop there? All right, so what I did was like hardly anything. So I did a 3 punch stitch. I don't even think that's correct. I think it's supposed to be like a blanket stitch, but I didn't do like five holes like I normally do for a junk journal. This is just again a little mini, so we're just gonna find the middle and punch that. So one of the things that you can do is like clip these together, but it's so quick that you don't really have to worry about that. And I didn't thread my needle. And what I'm using is just crochet cotton. So it's cheap and you get this monster ball of it, and I get it in white so I can just dye it to whatever journal I'm making, or not. You don't have to dye it. You can actually just use your stamp pad and color it as well. So white I think is probably a good way to go. All right, did I want the tie in the front? That's what I did. We're gonna go from here because I used these ends to tie it up. So I'm gonna just leave a little bit of a length, which is like, I don't know, 5 inches or so. And then it's gonna go back this way. And I usually just punch right before I am about to put it through so that I don't have, because I've actually punched this before and then everything moves because I'm doing the lazy way out and not holding everything together. So back through the middle and then to the side. There we go. And I just give it a good tug because sometimes things can loosen up as you're sewing and you're stitching this together. And then I bring it through, I just knot it. And then I knot this together. And what I do is just one, pass through, and then I do a surgeon's knot, which is one like you would normally do, and then go through again like that. And it's all done. So what I did last time was you have this tie that you're going to tie it to, or this length. I just went 1, 2, actually I did it the other way around. 1, 2, and 3, so that you can tie it to this, and then you just kind of cut a length and tie it together. So now this little stampy thing, let me show you if I can find it. No, yes, I have some here. Yeah, wouldn't you know it, I can't find it. All right, that's okay. So this is a larger version of this one. Well, I mean, it came with the whole thing, and it's from the Graphics Fairy. So you can just print as many of these faux stamps as you would like, and they're great for the cover. So I just use one, and I actually kind of like that one. It would just go with it. I'm not gonna glue it on top, but glue it underneath. I also found this, which was really pretty. It's a washi sticker, so I would have to just trim it. I think that would look really pretty too. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, so you have a chance to just decorate it to your heart's content. And what I also did was just took some of the pieces of paper, so like all the cutoffs that I had, I just what I did was I folded one. Actually, I took a half. All right, so I just kind of folded up a little piece of paper just in the same size, and fold it again, and fold this one. And actually, I'm going to do that now since I'm halfway making this. And it, you know, instead of like buttons or something like that, which you can use, I just use this, and I hope you can see it. There we go. Just kind of move it to this center and just fold down the two edges. And it, surprisingly enough, it sticks. So I have yet to have any come off. And just kind of put a glob so that the tie can kind of get wet with the glue, and then squish it together. And I just hold on to it for just a second. And even if you just, again, even if you left it like this, how cute is that? It's nice and neat in the center, has a little bit of interest from just a scattering of that scrapbook paper in there, just kind of randomly showing up, and then some on the end, and it actually helps with making this a little bit more sturdy. And so I kind of like these pieces on the bottom here, so that's going to be my top. And then I'm going to add something for the top here, and then that's about it. So in here, again, I added things just like I would in a junk journal. So there's a little tag there. I added a little piece of ephemera, a tiny little envelope with a tag here, just a piece of scrapbook paper, a tiny ticket. This is a belly band with a pull-out like sheet of music, basically. So cute. And then this that I sewed on the top. And seriously, the whole thing didn't take me but just a few, I don't know, like half an hour to put together. That's just a piece of paper with a little bit of washi on there. I left a lot of it blank so that it could be used. There's a ticket and then in a pocket. Oh, did I glue that together? No, there we go. That comes out. Just a little, I think there was a tear here, so I used a little bit of washi. This is just a little pocket with another kind of fold out. It still needs something, it's kind of blah looking. This is just a little fold out, again, just like I would in a junk journal, just some flaps, and maybe even I will add a fold in there, a little tag in the back. So it doesn't have to be fancy. You can do whatever you want with it. I put in some random stamps also to, again, tie it all together. So, and speaking of tying it together, I'm gonna now tie it all together. And I had a little bit of lace left over from another like Valentine's project I was doing. And I just thought this would be, I don't know, just kind of cute to put together. So I hope you enjoyed my tiny junk journal, and tell me how it goes for you. But what I plan to do is actually make a few Valentine ones. So why don't you just join me for those if you are interested. I'd love to have you come alongside and do that. So until next time, bye.